Here's one out of Lubbock, Texas.
Lubbock, Texas? Follow me.
The Pendejo Podcast.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Eric.
I'm Jonathan.
We're the Pendejos. Episode number 2, and man, we had so much fun with that first one. We thought we'd come back and do it again. So, bro, let me tell you what's going on this week, right? So today, well, not even
Especially
this week.
Since it's what, Tuesday?
It's fucking Tuesday, yeah.
But
so,
these weeks are long as shit now
man,
with all the Rona, right?
Dude, this Rona's got everybody.
It's like
cooped
Tuesday
up.
going on like Friday, dude. It's
Bro,
crazy.
I had a 3-day weekend, and well, because all my plans got canceled, we stayed in the house all weekend, and it seemed like it's been a month since I was back at work, you know? But anyway, so listen to this shit. So today, I go to work, and I'm just like, I get up and do my normal routine. I get up, you know, go to the restroom, shower, all that kind of stuff, brush my teeth, get dressed. So I'm like half asleep because I got shit for sleep last night. So I get up, just get ready for work like a normal day. Go to work. I'm driving to work, man, and I'm just like, I don't know what the hell's going on. So about a week ago, my son, we were playing
Bobby
back.
Shmurda just
Bobby
shot into my head just now.
that's the same thing.
About a week ago.
That's why I paused for a second, because I sang the rest of the song in my
Hell
head.
yeah.
But about a week ago, me and my son were outside playing basketball, and I blocked the ball, or he hit it or something, and it hit me in the nuts. So, dude, my nuts have been sore for like a week. Today I chalked that up to my nuts hurt, because, man, I was just tight down there. I was like, fuck, man, this is tight down there. I was like, God dang, man. So, get to work, start working, whatever. A couple hours go by, and I'm just like, God dang, man, what the hell's going on with my drawers, man? They're just too tight, or I don't know what the hell's going on. So I go to the restroom. I go check. Well, I'm wearing Zach's underwear.
What the?
I'm wearing my 13-year-old kid's
How did
underwear.
you not notice that, dude?
Well, I don't know what the hell's
feeling
going
tight
on.
in my
Oh,
nuts.
my nethers were smothered.
So it took you how long to realize you had on
About
his
4
drawers?
hours.
Well, you know what? Shout out to Zach for having
He's
draws
packing.
big enough for
He's
it.
packing.
Exactly. You get where I'm going with this. Shout out to Zach, man.
He obviously didn't get it from me.
And no shout out to you.
No, he didn't get it from me. Probably got it from his real dad.
God dang.
So anyway, so I'm
Got a
like,
fucking
God
panther
dang, man.
tail down there.
Well, no, telling me about it, bro. That's like freaking smuggling I don't know
That's
what.
crazy, man. Okay.
Smuggling a baby in a little basket or something, man. But so I can't leave work, right? So I'm like, shit, I guess I better finish out the day, man. It was
point,
the
just
longest
go all
day.
natural, all just at that point, you know what
Well,
I mean?
I'll tell you what I
Like,
did.
on the natch, just let them hang.
I thought I was gonna just deal with it. I was like, fuck it, I'll just deal with it, let it go. I mean, I only got a couple more hours. It's already lunchtime, whatever. I lasted another 30 minutes. I went to the restroom and I ripped a hole in those underwear and just let my stuff fall out. So
Nice.
it felt like I was wearing
shit looked like
crotchless panties.
It looked like the picture of you see the pictures of the Loch Ness monster.
Yeah.
It's just the head sticking out of the water.
I'd say, dude, I felt like I was in like Fredericks of Hollywood or Victoria's Secret with
Dude,
crotchless panties.
I forgot about the Fredericks of Hollywood.
Oh, dude, those were legit
Those
back
were
in the day.
You know, dude, think about this, man. Those, like when I first started working at the post office,
Yeah.
those were kind of the highlight of the day. Like we couldn't wait for the Fredericks or even the Victoria's. Now, dude, they could pass through the mail. I wouldn't even take a second glance.
Well, you know,
at them, bro,
Fredericks
because-
they're closed. Like they're not even in business anymore.
Oh, they're not.
No, they're. I don't remember how long ago was they tanked, but they're not in business anymore. But
it's like the internet. I mean, like our cell phones. Do you have?
yeah,
You can go straight raw in the palm of your hand, like
Yeah.
pun intended. But you know what I mean? Like you have access to the raunchiest shit if you want it, just in your pocket.
well, you think about
used
about
to
this all
look-
the time, man. Like you were just about to say, back in the day, it was a chore to like find some porn. Like it was a chore, and if it wasn't somewhere like accessible, like you're kind of, I don't know about you, like when I was at home when I was younger, we didn't have We had cable, but like we always had the line that came through. I didn't have a cable box in the room.
You lying.
Boo. I was the line king.
Fucking Lionel Richie.
A habitual line stepper. So we didn't have the box. So once you get past like a certain channel, like 62 or whatever it is, it starts going into the pay-per-view channels. And it was the squiggly.
Yeah.
The squiggly lines. Every once in a while you see a nipple or
use your
an
imagination.
ass or something. Yeah. So you'd be like just there trying to find something, you know. But
it was back then. It was the Adam and Eve channel. Remember that?
Oh man, or the Spice Channel too. Spice Channel.
And the only way I remember that because we didn't have cable growing up,
yeah.
man, you know. But Aaron Garza had cable, and
edit that last name out.
Oh shit. It's no big. Well, my boy Aaron.
Hey, boy Aaron.
My boy Aaron. They had cable, so I couldn't wait to go to his house, you know, because I knew that once, you know, his sister was a little older, so she'd probably go out on dates, whatever.
Right.
So we'd go to her room and we would watch the squiggly lines on the Spice Network.
That was dope. So when I was like in, I guess 8th or 9th grade, I was hanging out with this guy in junior high.
I bet.
We were going on dates. We would go to his house. I'd spend the night at his house, and everybody always wanted to go to his house because his mom and dad were real cool. They would never like check on us really or anything. And then his mom was kind of slutty, so she would come in and check in on us, and she'd be wearing this like little short like silk robes. Yeah,
I dropped it.
I seriously swear that's what it was. And she wears this little robe, and it was all nice and this and that, but he would order porn, you know, for $5.
She was like the cool mom.
Yeah, they were the cool parents, and the dad was real cool and everything like that, but they just would like say $5, $10,
was
whatever it was.
Was their last name Epstein? They seem a little child rapey, dude. Is that something to joke? Probably not. It's probably frowned upon a joke.
I don't give a shit.
Anyway, my bad.
Don't get hung up on it.
Well, I can't go anywhere with that one, dude. I mean, that's like the only way you can go with that one. So anyway.
Anyways, but that's where I would get our porn from is like that. But now it's like my son's got a phone. You know, kids that are like 9 years old, 10 years old have phones. Like it's so easy to
I remember
access porn.
It was a mission to just see a titty back then.
Yeah.
You know, like back in the day, we would go to Video Express, and you know they had that little area in the back where you know they had the little curtain. You had to go be 18, show your ID to go back there.
Yep.
And the funny thing is, on my 18th birthday, I was like, I've already seen all that crap, but I still just on principle.
Just because you
went
could.
Bought some cigarettes, never smoked a cigarette in my life.
Because they couldn't stop you.
Bought a lottery ticket, and I went straight to that room. And I remember walking around like, damn, you know. And like back then growing up in like elementary, it's funny. You always hear the story about finding porn in the woods.
Oh, man.
It's like, it's almost a part of like a coming of age story. And there's so much truth to that, man, because I remember once again, Aaron and we were out down at the lake by my parents' house, and I think hobos live down there, dude. You know, just homeless people. The hobosexuals. The hobosexuals.
Not the slow-mos.
There was a bunch of hobos, man, that would live there. All them freaking hobos. And I guess we found one of their stash of
that's
like
so
porn.
gross, dude.
In retrospect, it's disgusting.
You know how much they probably spanked off into that?
I'm sure, you know.
Your hands, you're lucky your fingers didn't fall off, you know.
And then cut to 20 years. Here comes the coronavirus.
It's karma. That's what it is. The karma virus.
We started it, man. Didn't even realize it.
The coronavirus.
We're touching the freaking hobo skeets.
No shit. The hobo skeets. That's a T-shirt right there. Hobo skeets.
The hobo skeets. Yeah. And
shit.
I remember like we. I was about to say we jacked it, but we didn't jack. We stole
together. Jacked each other.
We stole the hobos porn. They were just magazines, you know, but they were like hardcore, dude. Yeah. Like, and so I remember there's that bridge over by the lake by my parents' house, and you know, we would hang out under the bridge and we would pass them around.
Think you are Red Hot Chili Peppers?
No shit. And so I remember we buried them. We buried them because we're not gonna take them home,
right?
But we knew after school, we
you
know, do our
it was
homework,
like buried treasure, yeah.
Yeah, dude. So I was like, we can go back. And
after I did my homework, I'm gonna go look at the titties.
Hey, Hey, that's how
I
it
gotta
goes,
hurry
man.
and finish my arithmetic so I can look at the titties,
dog.
the arithmetic.
You gotta go see them arithmetic.
Beat you to it.
And so that's what we would do, man. And I remember we did it maybe 3 or 4 times. And then we went back one day and they were dug up. I was like, this freaking hobo
sucks.
And so they were gone. But going back to what we were
saying,
it was a mission.
All over. Yeah,
it's a mission just to try to get some like porn, man.
Dude, when you were
now it's just right there in the palm of your hand.
When literally. You were no shit. When you were little, and I don't know about you, but like when I was little and we would watch a rated R movie, my parents were pretty cool about letting us watch rated R movies, except when titties popped out somewhere.
Right.
And they would close your eyes. As soon as the guy and the girl start making out and you knew the sex scene was coming, close your eyes. I closed my eyes, but you always peek through.
I had a sweet ass move that I would do. So growing up, watching the same situation, watching the rated R movies, same thing. Parents were pretty laid back, but when they came to a sex scene, I would always, my dad would lay on the floor, my mom on the bed, and I would lay down right there with them. And I mean, my dad this sounds awful, but my dad was my hero, man. I always was just right there with him.
Who's in the mood for a sandwich?
Yeah. And so and maybe thinking about it, maybe I kind of knew that going back to this was my move.
Yeah.
So I would lay down right there, and I knew as soon as a dirty part would come on, they would tell me turn around.
Right.
And so I would turn around, but my dad wore glasses.
Oh.
And so I would just be staring at my dad dead in the eyes, like hard, like just staring at him, and because I'm watching all the titties on the reflection of his glasses.
So did you think, now that you say that, think about this, do you think it was weird for your dad because his son was staring him dead in the eye while he was watching
super weird
watching titties on the TV?
But to his defense, I guarantee he wasn't looking at me, looking at him. He was checking at them
well,
on the screen.
But yeah, that's
what I mean.
Yeah, I guess so.
I would.
It would be weird if he was staring you in the eye.
He's like, we're gonna share this moment.
Yeah. Your mom's like, what the hell are y'all doing?
We're bonding, Mom. Leave me alone.
I remember when I was I don't know how old I was, but Showplace 6, they had the dollar movies.
That's my spot, dog.
Dude,
I worked there.
My dad took me out of school. I don't know how old I was. I was still in elementary because we went to watch The Last Boy Scout. And I
remember that scene in the strip club.
Yeah,
right?
in the strip club, and it's supposed to be Halle Berry, I think, but I think it's a stunt.
It was Halle Berry.
That's pretty good. But yeah, I remember that, and that was the first time he didn't make me close my eyes. And I mean, obviously, they're in a strip club. You would figure there's gonna be.
All you heard was on your popcorn.
Popcorn.
You had your little popcorn on your lap.
Popcorn fell over. What happened?
I need a refill.
Butterfingers, literally.
Yeah, so I remember that scene though. Is that who was? I remember it, but I don't remember because I wasn't able to watch it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I remember that scene coming up, but I've never.
That was the first time, and it's like one of those things, I guess, with the dad and the son, where you're like, you do something you're not supposed to do, or at least not in front of your mom, but you don't really ever talk about it. Like, so that happened. He never said it again. But the next time we watched the movie and my mom was there and something came up, he's like, close your eyes, and you gotta be
like,
cool.
there's an unspoken agreement, like,
because I mean,
you still gotta be dad.
If I would have said, will you let me watch it there's no way that shit's gonna fly. Yeah. So he was always pretty cool about that. But oh man,
I remember one time, and my dad would always take me with him and his friends to go play golf, and I don't know.
You're the ball bitch.
Nah, I could play a little bit, and he I don't remember if it was his bag, because you know how you put both your bags on the back of the golf cart.
Yeah.
And so I was going to get a golf ball because, of course, I'm always losing my balls. And so I was going to get a ball.
Check your wife's purse.
Let me have them back. And so I was going into one of the bags to get a golf ball out of there, and I found like a little folded up picture of it was like you tear out the centerfold out of a Playboy.
Oh yeah.
And it was just one sheet, like they tore it out and it was folded up. And I saw it in there. And so they're over there on the putting green putting, and I'm over here getting the ball. And I unfold it, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah, And so I fold it back up, and I put it on my head, and I put my cap over it so that I could keep it.
You Inspector Gadget.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. And so I hid it under there, and my dad saw me. I guess he saw me, but he didn't see what I was doing.
Right.
He just knew that I put something under my cap.
Yeah.
And so I'm walking back over there, and he's like, what'd you put under your cap? And I was like, nothing. He goes, I saw you. What did you put under your cap? And I was like, nothing, Dad. And so he pulls my cap off, and that thing. So I'm guessing it wasn't his because he had to unfold it to see. It was probably the dude. And so he unfolds it and he goes, nice, you know. And then he just folds it back up, you know, and puts it in his pocket.
Oh, he didn't give it back to you?
Not hell no. I'm freaking cock block.
No, man.
But yeah, so it's just funny how it was so.
Well, you know, that's you say it like that. Think about it too. Like, even though like we were kids, it was hard for us to find it. It was just as hard for adults too. I mean,
that's true.
They didn't have the phones. They had to either go buy it or they had to order it off the TV.
And you know how like embarrassing. I mean, maybe I'll put it this way: if it were me, even now, dude, that it gets so accessible, if I would be kind of embarrassed to go somewhere and buy a.
Dude, we were in college and we were still buying magazines at Hastings. Remember how embarrassing that was, kind of for us. And remember the one with Brooke Burke. Was that her name?
My mom threw that one away.
Yeah, but man, we were both like, "Fuck the embarrassment. We got to get it."
Yeah, because we
had to, because there was no internet. Like the internet was barely. Yeah, it was barely. But like, even we barely had cell phones, and they were still in black and white, or you know, the text.
Black and white cell phone, or the ones that had that
that's
game,
racist.
That snake. Remember that snake game?
Yeah.
Yep.
Motorola. Oh yeah, Motorola and the what was the other ones they had? I guess
Seth was the only one with the cool cell phone.
Yeah. Fuck Seth.
I know, right? We love you, Seth, if you ever listen to this.
Don't listen to it.
You just had the cool cell phone.
Earmuffs.
My fucking cell phone still had a rotary dial on it. That shit was so old.
You still had to plug in.
Hell yeah.
It's my cell phone. Those Mickey Mouse phones.
Yeah, dude. It took me a while to get a nice cell phone.
I had a decent. Well, my first one was one of those big ass. It wasn't like the Zach Morris phone, but it was a small. You know, it's still pretty good.
Like
size.
You get carpal tunnel if you talk on it too long.
Yeah. And I thought it was cool because the next one I got had a sliding front to cover the keys, and it slid down, so it looked cool. It looked like a Matrix kind of phone. But it was still the same bullshit ass screen, the green and black kind of color on it. It was still.
Dude, I had a freaking sidekick. Do you remember the T-Mobile sidekick?
Hell yeah!
And I always thought I was so.
Hit me on my sidekick.
It's not that long ago if you really think about it.
Nah, we're in 2020. That was what 2003 maybe 2002.
No, it's probably a little later than that because when Jennifer and I started dating, I had it.
God dang, man, that was like 2000, maybe 2007, 2008, right? 2006.
In a hot minute, yeah.
Either way,
I remember I thought it was like the coolest shit. Like,
it's still not that long away.
Let me flip this thing up, you know, and it make that noise. It was like so dramatic.
Yeah,
like you flip it up and let me text you.
I remember the Genuine had a song. It was like "Hit Me on My Two-Way" or something like that, and you could like
what were the
Motorola sidekicks? It was
maybe you're right. It was a sidekick.
Yeah.
What were them shits that they were like?
A SkyTel pager.
There
right?
You go. You nailed it. That's what I was trying to remember.
Yeah. I'd never had a SkyTel. Did you have a pager, like a regular pager?
Mm-mm.
See, I had a pager when I was in like 9th grade. Of course, the only person that called me was my mom. But shit, when she paged me, I could never fucking call her back. I didn't have a phone.
You still had to.
I was like, oh,
you had to go find a payphone.
Yeah.
Do you know? Speaking of payphones, man, in junior high, I guess I don't want to say I'm a pervert, bro, because I'm not. I'm not a pervert. I'm a guy. I enjoy women's physiques.
You're a man that knows what he wants.
Okay, so, you know, growing up, there's always kind of, like, as a parent, put it this way, you always want to think the kids are like, oh, boys and girls have cooties.
Yeah.
You know? I was never like that. Like, I remember even kindergarten, dude, during nap time.
You were a travieso from the very beginning.
I remember in kindergarten, we would have nap time. And I remember my teacher would go and clean up the desks and stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember I would pretend to be asleep. And when she would, you know where this is going.
You're looking up her dress?
I would look up her dress. Yeah. And so, I don't even remember what my point was, dude.
But you're always been a travieso since you were... You're trying to say you always like women's physiques.
Yeah, but I was going somewhere with it, and I had a fucking brain fart, man.
Well, while you're thinking of that, I'll tell you I used to kind of do the same thing when I was in kindergarten, and we'd lay on the little mats that we'd that would flip out. It was red and blue on each side. Do you remember those mats? Mm-hmm. So we would do gymnastics on them too. Anyways, I had this, I guess I was in like, I guess it had been kindergarten because we were still taking naps. and I would try to look at the teacher's skirt all the time. I never could. Too. I was. And then one time we had a substitute, and I just happened to roll over, and the one time I got to look up there, she's not a very attractive woman.
Miss Man.
Yeah. Something dropped down on my forehead. I was like, ugh. So I never tried it again after that because that shit kind of scarred me. But
dude, I could have sworn, man. Like Aaron and I, we've grown up together, and there was this teacher in 4th grade, and I mean, she was hot, dude. Even back then, like all the little boys had a crush on her. You know, she was like your typical hot chick, like a Barbie almost. She was blonde, tall, not
Yeah.
And we all just had the biggest crush on her. I'm not gonna say her name because what if, you know?
She's
but
happened
I
to be listening.
swear to this day, dude. I swear, another friend of mine. I won't say his name because I don't want to put him on blast. But we had went to the strip club for my birthday one year, and I could have sworn like if I had $1 million, I would bet money that was her.
Really?
And it's funny because I mean now thinking about it, teachers don't make that kind of money, right?
Right.
But she drove a badass red Corvette, and maybe her husband had money. I don't know. But when you start kind of putting 2 and 2 together, I wonder. She, you know, it's like Varsity Blues.
Remember well, you think about that. So if she drove, you said a Corvette. She drove a nice Corvette.
Yeah.
Either one of a few things was going on. Either she had family money, her husband had some money, or she was doing something else on the side. And usually, if you got family money, you probably ain't gonna end up a teacher. You're probably gonna end up something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
like a family business.
Right? Yeah. You're gonna do something unless you just want teaching's your life, which is whatever. But then,
how can I teach these kids,
Mr. Carmenez?
So yeah, man,
he even fucking made me forget what I was talking about. Either way, something she had to be doing something. She was getting money from somewhere else, not teaching.
I think it was her, man. And I told Aaron, I said, dude, I think Miss Such and Such. She's a stripper now.
That had to been like 20 years later, right? Close to 20 years.
So how old are you in 4th grade?
10.
10?
Yeah.
And so it was like my 19th birthday.
Okay, well, 10 years. I mean,
yeah.
She could have probably still looked pretty good. When she was a teacher, she was like 20.
Oh, she was super young, yeah. So
yeah, she had been like 22, 23 maybe.
Yeah.
She was still in her early 30s. That's not bad.
That might have been her, dude.
That might have been at her peak.
She just peaked. Yeah, but yeah, it's like we were always like girl crazy.
Yeah.
I was never the type like, ooh, girls have cooties.
You know, I was girl crazy too, but I don't want to say I hid it, but I didn't never like show it in front of my parents. You know what I mean? Like if they would say something, I would never be like, oh man, I like this girl, or I got a girlfriend, or this and that. I always kind of hid it, not hid it, but
and then quit it.
Didn't I didn't pronounce it. You know what I mean? I didn't go flaunting my woman obsession for women. So, you know, it's one of those things, but, yeah, man, kids are little assholes sometimes, you know what I mean?
This is Eric speaking, not
hey,
Jonathan.
my kids can be jerks, dude.
My daughter's awesome.
Well, she is, but wait till she gets a little older.
But I will say, if karma's a real thing, I've got it coming to me, dude, because I was a pain in the ass growing up. Dude, not really so much bad, but like travieso. Dude.
Yeah.
Like I was always doing stupid shit, man. Like I was obsessed with like growing up. My favorite movie, and even up to this day, probably my top 5, Bloodsport.
Oh,
loved Bloodsport, dude.
Classic.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'll even go out and say I'll take Jean-Claude Van Damme over Bruce Lee. That's probably not a popular opinion, but to me, that's who my favorite martial artist was.
But
no homo. I love me some Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, not changing the subject. I will come back to it, but just think about like when you're growing up, because I was thinking about this on music too. Like people now, like my son's 13, going into being 14, and the music he listens to now, is that the kind of music he's going to listen to when he's our age? You know, when he's in his 30s? Because I'm still listening to this shit.
We could say that.
Yeah.
but I think the quality is so much better now.
Man.
I mean, back then when we were growing up,
it
still
hard.
holds up.
But do you think? Listen, so okay, there's a supervisor at work, right? He's probably mid 40s, something like that. I just can't see him listening to music from like the 90s. You know what I mean? He just doesn't look like that kind of guy. And he's cool. I just don't see him listening to like when I'm in my 40s, I'm still going to be listening to 90s hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
You're almost 40.
Well, that's why I'm going to be listening to it. Bitch.
We're almost 40.
How dare you?
Freaking age shaming.
Yeah, age shaming me.
But I get what you're saying, man, because I remember thinking This is a compliment to Marcus, my cousin Marcus. He was always old. He was older than me, obviously, and I've always thought like
I thought he was your grandpa.
I always was like, man, Marcus is a cool guy because he's this much older than me, but he stays current with like the wave. You know what I mean? Like he always dressed nice. Yeah. Always had nice kicks. Yeah. Always had nice cars. Everything. Right. Like so, he was the cool dude. And I remember thinking like when I was in high school, I would see him and I'd be like, oh man, I hope when I'm his age, I'm still cool like that. Yeah. And so now I'm his age that he was back then. Right. And I feel like I'm still kind of I'm keeping up with like, not so much popular culture because I think a lot of the pop culture now is kind of sucky. Yeah. I don't keep up with it on purpose. Too. You know what I mean? I never got into the skinny jeans and all that shit. Yeah. But I could see why people like it. It's just not me. But I'm like, as far as music. Yeah. You know? Well,
right or wrong, answer me this. Were we not the fucking luckiest generation to grow up? I mean, we grew up in the 80s.
The 70s may have something to say because of like
I did always wish I was old enough to be in that disco late 60s, early 70s. Like that disco era. I always liked that kind of shit. But we grew up in the 80s when we had like He-Man and Thundercats and we had Bloodsport and we had all these badass Beavis and Butthead into the 90s. So we were like old enough to enjoy the 80s.
Just the music
alone. But perfect for the 90s. Like when
the music alone was.
I think we grew up because if you think of somebody that came along and was born in the maybe early to mid 90s, they got to enjoy. But even then, the cartoons
and they were probably too young to appreciate it anyway at that age.
But they grew up, and so they're about in the early 2000s. Man, you remember the hip hop in the early 2000s? I mean, it wasn't all that great either.
It was good, but not great. It can't hold up to mid 90s.
No, I mean
early to mid 90s.
You got stuff like Walk It Out and what were the Jermaine Dupri, the long T-shirt, Franchise Boys. Yeah. That's the kind of shit that they grew catchy, up. But it's not classic. Okay, you know what I mean.
Let me ask you this. Do you consider that rap or hip hop? Because I'm a kind of a snob. Man. I'm a snob when it comes to calling.
I don't know. Would you consider it pop music?
It's almost pop.
It's not. It's
pop,
not.
It's rap pop.
It's like urban.
Yeah.
If you go to the record store and those are still around, it'd be in the urban section.
Yep.
Racist.
But you know what I'm saying? I'm such a. I don't want to sound like I'm some freaking like hip hop aficionado, but I kind of hold hip hop to a higher standard than rap music.
When you say hip hop, who's the first person you think of, or group, or whoever? Okay. Nas, when I say rapper, who's the first one you come?
Nelly.
Okay, that I accept that completely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's still good. It's still good music. Nelly can listen to it, but
Nelly can make a hit song. Mm-hmm. Nelly can he can go into a studio and probably make 5 hit songs in a day. Mm-hmm. Whether they can be played on the radio. Nas, when's the last song you heard on the radio from Nas?
Dude, and the funny thing is Nas.
It's been years.
Nas is my favorite rapper of all time. Yeah. Right. But I think he almost self-sabotaged himself by having poor production.
Dude, his beats were shit.
Right?
Yes.
I agree, man. Like when he finally gets a good producer, like he gets like DJ Premier. Right. I mean, Premier did his whole first album pretty much, Mm-hmm. But like later on when Nas starts becoming more popular, you're just like, come on, man. Like your beats are not that great, but it's good headphone music.
But do you think
the content's good? But he's not making club bangers.
But man,
he's not.
It's just I can't see Nas like taking a song from him and just taking the lyrics and putting them on top of another beat. It just doesn't mix. You know what I mean? He doesn't make that kind of music. Right. That's why he chooses the shitty beats, and they're not really shitty. They're not poppy. You know what I mean? They go with what he writes.
You can easily compare them to. Look at Jay-Z's commercial success, and then look at Nas's. Yeah. Nas is he's like your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Right.
And you could say maybe the same for Jay-Z, but Jay-Z's a good rapper. Don't get me wrong. He is one of the best lyricists.
Yeah, I agree.
But his commercial success was that good because he got some Neptune's beats. He got Trackmasters. He got Timbaland. Yeah. He started branching out and getting all these big producers. Yeah. And then he just took off because his flow was there. Yeah. He could rap.
But Jay-Z's always been a businessman too. He knows 100%. What people want, and it doesn't necessarily mean that he's in a boardroom or something with a suit on. But he's a businessman in terms of like he knows what the people want. He knows okay, well if I can get the Neptunes to do this song, and if I can get Swizz Beatz to do this song for me, or Timbaland to do this song for me. Hey, they're blowing up right now, or Kanye West.
Those are the songs you're going to hear in the club,
and on the radio, because especially like when Kanye was first starting to explode a little bit, man, Jay-Z jumped on his coattails quick.
Well, you could probably say that he's the one that put Kanye on, really, because the very, very, very first song I heard Kanye produce on was Guess Who's Back, Scarface,
Jay-Z, yeah.
And then because I used to call him Kane West.
Kane West, I did too.
Yeah, and I remember like, that dude Kane West, you know, like he makes good soulful beats, you know,
rock,
no shit, dude. And I remember like he was up on Kanye a long time ago before he was Kanye, you know.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like he knew Kanye was gonna blow up. Like he probably heard, you know, shit that nobody else has ever heard, and that Kanye probably never put out. Some shit that Kanye probably just made. He's like, damn, dude, this dude's gonna blow up. I need to get on him.
Well, even on the very last, it's one of my favorite songs, dude. Yeah. Believe it or not, it's the very last song on Kanye's first album. It's the
fuck you, rock. Kanye.
Yeah.
Making me do this shit, motherfucker.
He talks about the journey becoming who he is and how Jay-Z's like, you know what?
I said toast, motherfucker.
Yeah. He knew that he had something, you know, and I think he's got that ear. Yeah. To where, hey man, this may not be nothing dude. Now, but I can hear he's got potential. Yeah. You know, and that's why that's why Jay-Z knew to, hey man, I'm gonna mess with this producer. They got it.
He kind of missed the mark on Memphis Bleak a little bit, but you know,
I think that was more because he's from Marcy. Yeah, like, hey, I'm gonna try to put this dude on.
He tried. He did try.
I like some Memphis Bleak songs.
It depends on the beat. Memphis Bleak's the same.
How much? Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I'm not a very big. I don't think he was a good lyricist.
You know, I thought he was pretty good, but I think too much. As shitty as it sounds, it's kind of the luck of the draw. Yeah. A lot of it has to do with your voice, man. Yeah. Some people, like, I'm trying to think, I mean, you could probably name a few rappers that are good rappers, but for whatever reason, just because their voice, like, okay, you know, to me, the perfect example.
Who's that?
Is, like, Meek Mill.
Okay.
I never liked Meek
Mill. I don't like Meek Mill either.
Rap. Yeah. You can't say that he's not a good rapper. He can rap. I just never liked Meek Mill, dude.
I don't either. I just don't like his... It seems like he's screaming at me. Yeah.
Like if he texts, like he probably texts in all caps. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He texts in all caps.
You know who another one that's like that is? And it could be just me, but I don't like Beanie Siegel. Like I don't like his voice.
And he can rap too?
He can rap, but I just don't like the sound of his voice. You know who else yells at you? Is Freeway.
Free.
Yeah.
Early. Jadakiss is another one.
Jadakiss
might be one of the best lyricists in the game. Never really liked him.
But you know what? Jadakiss...
I never really liked them, dude.
He was better with the Locks together, all three of them.
They bounce off each other,
you
know?
Yeah, him by himself, it just... And he had good beats, because he would go out and he got Pharrell and...
Kanye.
Got Kanye. He even had... Swizz Beatz, I think he did some for him, and when he was with Rough Rider, Swizz Beatz probably did a lot of his beats. Yeah, but he just I think a lot has to do about with their that voice. Man. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah,
that's so weird, man. And I think that just has a lot to do with people's success too. You know, how their voice comes across. Because even like Ja Rule, man, say what you want to say about Ja Rule, but it was something different.
Bro,
he's just some dude with like a rugged voice. He's this little dude, but he had some jams. Like the other day, I was listening to that Veni Vidi Vici. Yeah, it's good,
bro. For about maybe 2.5 summers, dude, he was the man, dude. And you know what killed him?
His success.
No, 50 Cent killed his ass.
I think he was already on his way out, making all them bullshit.
Man,
radio
I don't
songs.
know, man, because that's what everybody was wanting at that point. Like in what was that, like 99, 2000, around that time, 2001. And when him and Ashanti got together, because I think he was starting to fall off, like you said, and then Ashanti kind of brought him back, and he was able to crank out a couple more hits with Ashanti. But man, for whatever reason, when 50 just murked him, it was over. But
there was no turning back.
No, 50, if you think about it, he kind of killed the whole Murder Inc. label. He didn't really just.
How did he do it,
man? 50 Cent in the club. Ja, you fucking man.
I was waiting for that 50 impression.
I'm get rich, die trying.
But he kind of did. Like he took them all out, man.
Yeah, he did. The whole, like, all in one swoop. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then, man, it didn't hurt that he had like G in it. They were all good artists, man. Except Yayo. I wasn't too big on Yayo. I think he just put Yayo on because he was like a homie, you know.
Yeah, and remember we went to that concert. We were wearing those free Yayo shirts and. Fucking posers.
You know what's so funny about that? I'm embarrassed to admit this, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm laying it all out there. I had no clue what free yayo.
Oh, I didn't either.
I thought it meant free drugs.
That's what I did too. Oh, dude, I'm glad you said that because I was like yayo. I know what that yayo. I thought it was cool because I knew what yayo was from Scarface. That's where I got it from.
Like Chi-Chi, get yayo.
Get the yayo.
You remember that?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I thought. Yeah. I had no clue Tony Yayo was in jail.
And then when they came out, it was Tony Yayo. Who the hell's that?
And I was like, free
got
Yayo.
Got it. Yeah.
I just thought it was a cool shirt because it came from the concert, and on the back it had 50 Cent's logo.
Didn't we buy them at Spencer's, right?
We didn't get him at the concert.
No, because we got the Rock the Mic. We got
shirts.
the concert.
So we did get him
shirts.
at.
I think we got it
Hastings
at
or Spencer's.
I think I got it at Spencer's.
Yeah.
And I think I saw Eminem wearing one. That's where I saw it. I was like, damn, I like that shirt and I want to get one.
Yeah, free drugs. Free yayo.
SSD.
I'm a freaking poser, dude. I'm glad to know I wasn't posing by myself.
Oh, man, we were both posers.
I really did think that's what it meant. I had no clue, man.
Gosh, those are some good days, man.
They had it
those
unlocked, dude. They had it unlocked.
I'm talking about for me and you back in those days. Those are some fun days, man. Yeah. And I remember I got that house.
Oh yeah.
I was living by myself for my first time on my own. Man, those are some good freaking days.
We had aspirations of being music producers.
Yeah, fuck school. We don't need school to be music producers.
And even if you go to school, because we pretty much did.
So this is how much of rocks we were. We would drive all the way to Level Land, which is a little town.
About 30-minute drive.
Yeah, about 30 minutes from where we live, and we would go to school, and we would just be like, we'd go for what, an hour? Well, we'd go and play pool in the morning in the rec room or whatever they call it.
Yep.
And then we go to our human sexuality class, and that was the only class we ever.
In that class.
Dude, that's the only class we had interest in.
That might have been the only A I've had in my total college career.
Yeah, I think so too.
That was a cool class.
And then we would be like, it's 10 o'clock. You want lunch? Yeah. Even though there were restaurants in the town. Nah, let's go to Wiener Schnitzel back in Lubbock. All right, let's go to Wiener Schnitzel, go back to my house, and just listen to music all day.
Like, I wish I could redo that, but then I don't, because it was a good time. But I'm like, man, I screwed off my college years,
I did
man,
too,
but it's still, everything worked out.
Yeah, it worked out, so I'm not too upset about it, but they were some fun days.
So when we went back, like one of the next semesters we went back, we're like, hey man, if you really want to try to be music producers, we gotta take this shit serious. We need to take a music class. Neither one of us could play
trying
an
to be music producers.
Yeah. And so we take this class, and we're like, all right, man. So the teacher's going around asking everybody, what instrument do you play? And I'm like,
skin flute.
I'm like, no shit.
Toot toot.
And I'm kind of like, waiting. He's fixing to get to me. I'm like, man, should I make up an instrument? Like, can I play something?
Yeah.
And I'm like, everybody plays something. And he's like, and what do you play? Nothing. I don't, I want to be a music producer. And the teacher's kind of like, all right. So he goes, ask more people. Mm-hmm. And then he gets to Eric, same stupid answer. And I'm embarrassed, man. I'm like,
I feel like he looked at, after he asked me, he looked at me and he looked at you, and he's like, oh, they came together. They know each other. Oh, yeah. Oh man!
These dudes probably needed a credit. So they're just trying to take it.
But from that point on, everybody in that fucking class and the teacher looked at us like peasants. You know what I mean? Like,
we were. Think about it, dude. They all were musicians.
Them, dude. I don't give a shit. We weren't peasants. We were cool as shit.
Give me some beats.
We were cool as shit. We'd fuck these guys. We'll go home and make our own music.
With that little keyboard.
Yeah.
We had I guess my dad had a keyboard because my dad was in the choir at church.
We're gonna take your dad's choir piano and make beats on it.
I guess somehow that keyboard ended up at our house, and so I'm like, hey Eric, come on man, we can make some beats. I got this keyboard. It was, hey, you know what, man? Hustle and Flow stole our shit, dude.
Oh fuck yeah,
they stole our idea. That's us, man.
It was hard out here for college dropouts.
Kanye stole our shit, man. We were college dropouts first.
We were college dropouts before Kanye. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and so we would. Well, that keyboard had a freaking floppy disk.
Oh,
you know what I mean? That's how you saved your beats back then. That's old
school. Yeah.
And so we would make some beats that we thought were badass and save them on that floppy disk. Hell yeah. And then when my dad would get pissed off at me for skipping school, he would hide the cord to the keyboard.
We'd be at your house at like 9 in the morning, and your dad would come home for lunch like 2 hours later.
Like, what are you two shitheads doing? Hey, yeah. He probably thought the same thing your dad thought about us when he walked in and I was watching that porno with the light off. And my dad's probably like, what are these two guys doing here while they wait for me to go to work? And they're here hanging out.
Playing sexy music to each other. Yeah, your dad would come, and that's how he would punish us, is he would take the cord that plugs into into the wall so that way it could turn on, and God, we would be so mad, and then we would have a shitty day after that because we didn't know what else to do.
Just go to Hastings, I guess.
Go to Hastings and buy Playboys.
My dad does some funny shit, dude. I remember because he had his own personal parking spot in front of the mailbox. When he got out of work, that's where he parked his company truck. Uh-huh. I remember one time, man, like he had already kind of warned me a few times, stop parking in my spot. There. That's my shit, Yeah. So not even thinking anything of it, Seth, and they're like, hey man, you want to come hang out or whatever? And I remember getting the phone call. So I parked my car in my dad's spot, and I'm out hanging out. Matter of fact, I don't even think I had a cell phone. I think once again Seth had his cool little cell phone. My dad called me on Seth's phone.
Oh shit!
And he's bitching me out, dude. He's like, "What did I tell you about parking in my spot?" And I was like, "Oh, I'll be right back, Dad. I'm not gonna be gone that long." And he's like, "I already told you about that." And I was like, "He's like, you better come and move it now, or I'm gonna move it." I'm like, whatever.
Whatever, old man.
I get home, my freaking car is missing.
Golly.
And I'm like, "What the? Where's my car?" I get there, and dude, my dad. Just to make his point. So my uncle lives like 2 or 3 blocks over, and my dad went and parked my car at his house, and my uncle brought him back. So they tag teamed me, dude, just to mess with me.
Wow, man.
Yeah, just to scare
That's
the shit
funny,
out of me,
man. Yeah, your dad.
I hope I do cool shit like that whenever.
Your dad would.
Cool, but
yeah, your dad was cool, man. He was always real cool with me. I've never had, but I saw him get on you a few times.
Yeah, I wish. Like everybody loves my dad, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, man, if you only knew the crazy shit this man would do, like that's a crazy. But I think about it, I'm like, I hope I do crazy shit like that to Brooklyn whenever I get older, man, just so she can talk about it later on a podcast.
I think it's different for girls and dads and girls though, because did your dad like that with your sister?
I don't know, man. To be honest with you,
you were too young to remember. I
might have been too young, like because
how much older is she?
My sister and I are 4 years apart.
Oh, that's not too much.
So, but
further.
It's like at those years. She's doing her thing. I'm doing my shit.
She's too old for you.
We're kind of I mean, we my sister and I have a good like.
You're close.
Yeah, we're real close. And we never.
But still, she was driving and you were on a bike and in
like
junior high,
our
whatever.
age gap. We just missed each other.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I mean, I know they're real close. But like I'll admit it. I'm closer. Like I'm a mama's boy.
Yeah.
I'm a mama's boy.
Yeah.
And I think my sister's more like a daddy's girl.
Right.
I guess that's how it goes. Though,
I think it is.
Like
that's the way I'm with mine. Like me and Zach are real close, and we have our own little bonding things and this and that, whatever. But him and Andrea are just like inseparable. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Inseparable. Is that the word? Inseparable.
I get it.
And like me and Mia, like we'll just. It sucks that she keeps getting older because I always, like she's so like a daddy's girl that she wants to love on me all the time, but then. I'm like, man,
catches you wearing your son's underwear.
No, I hope nobody caught me doing that. I had to throw those things away, dude.
Does he know that?
No,
I didn't mean to interrupt your
story.
No,
this was today.
Oh, it was today.
Yeah, this was today. So the whole underwear thing was this morning. Like,
damn.
I got home and I took them fuckers off and threw them in the trash because I don't.
You're a soldier for even going that long, dude.
Well, it was pretty tough. That's probably why my balls are still hurting, not because of the basketball into the nuts. Man,
I didn't mean to interrupt your story. I just
dude,
can't get that story
that's okay.
Out of my mind,
man. Now I just side note. One time, I was getting ready for work and I didn't have any. I had washed my clothes, but I didn't have time to dry them. I had no underwear.
Let me pause you right there. You're talking about drying clothes.
Yes.
Do not let me forget to tell you what happened to me earlier today.
Okay.
It has something to do with that.
Okay. So I had all my clothes wet, and I was like, shit, man,
wet.
Wet.
What?
Wet. What'd you say?
Wet.
Wet. Wet.
Where were you?
The Wetter Local.
The wet side.
Go to Wetter Schnitzel. Anyways, before I fucking forget what I'm saying. Oh, you're a wet keel.
I'm out. I tap out. I don't have anything else.
So I forgot what. Okay. So all my clothes are still wet, and I only have like maybe 20 minutes to get to work. Like I'm struggling, right? So I grab a pair of drawers out of the washer, and I'm like, fuck it. I throw them in the microwave for like 3 minutes.
What?
Yeah. I threw them in the microwave so I could dry them off.
It's a terrible idea.
And so I put them in there for 3 minutes. I walk off, go brush my teeth.
Whoever gets popcorn eggs is going to taste like shit, dude.
Either that or my underwear's going to smell like popcorn.
One
way or the other. No, so I walk off and I'm brushing my teeth and I'm like, what's that smell? And I was like,
Hot shit.
I ran into the fucking kitchen is full of smoke. You know how like when you put metal in the microwave and and it has that smell like burnt,
like metal.
Yeah. I ain't got nothing to say. Caught me off guard with that one. So apparently what it was is the fucking rubber in the elastic melted and it started heating up like you were microwaving metal. And dude, so I opened it up and all this smoke comes out and
freaking liar pants on fire.
I was trying to smoke me out of the house, dude, and I was just like coughing and I pulled out my underwear, right, and they're fucking burning hot.
Dude, I bet Andrea wants to kick your ass.
Oh, she was pissed. So I pulled them out with a spoon. I pulled them out of there and I was holding them off from the spoon, and they were all singed and black. And I was like, "Fuck, should I wear them?" Like, nah, I better not. Yeah, I was like, nah, I better not. So I had to go commando that day because, I might not even have gone to work that day. I don't even remember, but I just know that I almost burnt the house down because I was trying to dry underwear.
That might be the dumbest shit I've heard.
I got some other dumb shit. I'm sure there's other ones. But what were you gonna say?
I said some stupid shit today, dude. And I said it not even thinking, bro. Like I was out there on my route. Those of y'all don't know, I'm a mailman. So I'm out delivering my mail, and I get to this. They're like duplexes. There's like 4 mailboxes all put together.
Yeah.
And so I get there, and I'm putting the mail in there, and I didn't even notice this. Some lady comes out, and she's got in a robe, in her hair. You know when the ladies get out of the shower, they have their towel.
Yeah.
She comes out, and she goes, "I'm so sorry. I left my panties drying on the fence."
What?
I go, "Huh?" Dude, she was drying, like air drying her panties right there on the mailbox in the fence, dude. And I go, "Oh, okay, that's cool." I was like, "Well, at least they're gonna smell fresh, I was like, you're gonna have that total Summer's Eve type
Summer's
fragrance.
Eve.
Not even thinking what Summer's Eve really is for.
Douche.
Exactly, dude. Like I was just trying to be like, I didn't want it to be awkward, because I could tell she was embarrassed. Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, well, at least they're gonna smell nice and fresh, like that Summer's Eve fragrance."
She probably said, "Well, that's not the only Summer's Eve I see." Fucking douche,
dude. and so I walk off, and I'm just like, "Oh man, dude, that was the stupidest shit I could have said." Like,
that's hilarious, though.
And I'm like, I know she's probably not gonna complain. I think she was more embarrassed than anything to like complain.
Yeah.
But I was kind of like, just say nothing.
Yeah.
Just say it's cool.
Yeah.
Don't
just say,
and it's done after that. Drive to your next stop.
Nah, you can't help yourself. I'm the same way. I can't. Sometimes when people say shit, it's like I'll say it and then I hear myself say it and I'm like, oh, I probably shouldn't have said that, But
I can actually remind you of a time that you've said that. You told me a story about that.
What was that?
And I was like, oh, you know what, man? You got to talk about that when you worked at FedEx, and you had told that the homosexual.
Oh,
at
okay.
Abercrombie and Fitch.
Yeah. No. It wasn't at Abercrombie.
Oh, it wasn't.
No. Okay, so I used to drive for FedEx, and I would go from here to Abilene, but I would go at night to take their like overnight, like kind of express type shit. So I would leave here at like 9 o'clock at night, and I'd drive up there. That's about 3.5, 4 hours to Abilene, another 3 hours back, whatever. So for whatever reason, that night I was just real tired. I guess I didn't sleep during the day, and there's a little gas station. I think it's on Allsup somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and there's nothing around it, no houses. It's just there, and it's the only thing lit up. So this is it's about halfway between Abilene and Lubbock, and there's a little gas station. So I was like, I'm gonna pull over and get a Red Bull or something, something, coffee, something to keep me awake. So I pull over, and this is probably, I don't know, 3 a.m, something like that, maybe 4 a.m. And I'm like dog ass tired. So I get off, lock my truck, get inside. And I used to drive a Sprinter van, so that's what I was driving. But I would go, and I went inside, and the guy was like, man, he's like, hi, how you doing? Being nice, or whatever. He's like, so I get my drink, set it on the counter, and he goes, you driving? I was like, yeah, I'm tired. And he goes, me too, man. He goes, I got a bed back there. You've been my only customer for a while. I've been back there sleeping. I was like, man, I'd like to go back there and sleep with you. And his eyes, I've never seen somebody's eyes like, that big and pissed off at the same time. And I didn't get it. Like, I just said it. And I just meant, like, I'm tired. I want to lay down, too. I didn't mean I wanted to go and
let's spoon,
smoosh and smash.
That's badass, dude.
So, he said, what the fuck did you say? And I looked at him. I was like, huh? Because I had my head down because I was in my wallet going to get my money out. And I said, huh? He goes, what the fuck did you say? I said, what? I didn't even catch it. He's like, what, are you gay? And I said, what? He goes, you said you want to go back there and have sex with me? I said, then it hit me. Huh? Yeah. And then I was like, what? And then it hit me. I was like, oh, no, I'm tired. That's why I'm getting this Red Bull. He goes, get the fuck out of my store. I was like, what? No. I'm not selling you shit. Get out. I was like, whoa.
Wow.
All right.
Talk about a little homophobe, bro.
Honestly, though,
relax.
I kind of saved me $3 and I kind of woke me up. So I was good. I didn't really need the Red Bull. And driving for FedEx too, man, that shit was kind of sketchy at night like that. One time too, when I was driving over there, I would go, before I left town, I would stop at truck stop and put gas in, fill it up, right? So I'm pulled over, I'm waiting for the gas to fill up, and I'm just sitting there. Mind you, I think I had a cell phone, but you can't get on the internet or whatever on the phones back then. I was lucky to have music on my phone, I think. So I'm just sitting there. Well, another truck pulls up in front of me at the other pump. They have a trailer with cows in there, like maybe 2 or 3 cows. So, just being the fucking nosy bastard I am, I walked up to the cows and I was looking at them, and they're looking at me. Huh?
You're like, "Cow, are you doing?"
I was a cowbunga. They, anyways, the cows they start looking at me too, and I'm just like, moo, moo, just trying to stir them up, just to cause trouble, whatever, just cause. And like they wouldn't moo, and I kept mooing, and finally they just go. Fucking sneezed all over me, dude. And I was in my FedEx uniform, with the shirt. Dude, I smelled like shit going all the way up there because they're like mucus, like I guess what they eat, whatever. But it all came out of their mouth and their nose. It was all in my beard, all in my hair, all in my shirt, all under my neck and my shirt. Dude, I went into the restroom.
Was it on your neck, your back, your pussy, and your crack?
It was everywhere. It was dripping in there. I had to go to the restroom and like kind of do a horse bath where you just just kind of take a paper towel to yourself. Man, but I stunk like shit going up there. When I got to Abilene, the guys up there were like, "Oh, what's that smell?" And I was like, I told him what happened, and
cow
from there, no shit. He didn't swallow; he spit all over me.
Yeah, dude, I got some stupid shit. When I'm out delivering mail. So one time, there was a lady on my route, and she Oh, anyway, there's a lady on my route. She, it sounds so fucked up, but I'm not trying to make fun of her. But I gotta paint the picture of this lady.
That probably sounds like you're gonna make fun of her.
Yeah,
you are.
Okay,
just
so
go ahead.
She looks like she God, I'm trying not to be a jerk about it.
Just be a jerk.
So she's got
We've been a jerk this long.
She's got like a messed up hand, like where she had like
like the guy from Scary Movie 2.
The
strong hand.
It looks like a buffalo wing. I'm trying not to say that. I'm trying not to, man.
Buffalo wing. Like mild or spicy?
Like this, like almost like.
Was it a drum or a flat?
Okay, do you remember in Living Color when Damon Wayans did the handyman? Yeah. Okay, she's got a hand like a funny hand, and so anyway, so I go up the street and then back, and we had the circulars, the coupons,
right.
And for whatever reason, her house doesn't get one. I guess it just wasn't added to the route or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I go up the street and I'm coming back and she flags me down and she's like, "Hey, how come I don't ever get those coupons?" She goes, "Every house gets one but me." And I said, "I don't know." I told her, I said, for whatever reason, this was back when they had addresses on them. I said, "You don't get one."
Yeah.
I said, "But you know what? I've got some vacant ones. I can give you some of these." And she's like, "Oh, okay. Well, thank you." Well, not realizing she had a funny hand like that, I hand it to her, and so she grabs it like this. I hit the mic, my bad. So she grabs it like that, and so I put the circular between her hands, and I not thinking her hands like that, so I dab her up like. So I give her knuckles, man, and she looks at me like, "Motherfucker." And she's like, "Thank you, sir." And then I kind of just give her knuckles, and I drive off, and like instantly, bro, I drive off, and I'm like, "Oh
shit, dude, that is the best story I've ever heard."
I was like, I can't believe I just did
Golly.
that. I mean, I laughed about it because it's funny, but I felt bad, dude.
So,
like I'm a kind-hearted person, bro. I really am. But I could not help but laugh at that. I drove off. I was like, I really gave that lady's funny hand knuckles.
Oh my god! You think about it too. Like, if she's gonna call and complain on you, like, what's she gonna say? He dabbed me up.
He dabbed me up with my funny hand.
He gave me knucks on my short hand.
He knuckled me up.
Oh shit, that's so funny, man.
I felt so bad. Wow. I mean, we're cool since then. Like, I've seen her since then. We're all good, dude. But
did she always try to give you the nucks?
No, dude. I learned. I wouldn't do it again. It was like an honest mistake, bro. Yeah. It really was, man. Because I wouldn't dare have done that to like make fun of her, bro.
Yeah, that's
because she just grabbed it, and her hand was sticking out, and so I thought she was trying to like give me knuckles. And...
It's like she had pinzas, huh? The little crab hands. Oh shit.
That's one of the many stupid stories. That's one of my tales that I have from delivering the mail. I've got a handful of them.
We've got plenty, man. I know we've got a lot of stuff to tell, and we got lots of time, but I think this could probably be about the end of.
Yeah, we're gonna shut this one down for episode 2 of the Pendejo podcast.
Yeah, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy. And all this shit that's been going on in the world, we just kind of
try to bring some laughs.
Yeah, we just want to make everybody laugh with just how stupid we are, all of our stupidity throughout. No, from that story, I can tell you it's for both of us. Trust me. That's a T-shirt right there. Honest mistake. But
it really was.
Anyways, thank you for listening, and subscribe to our fans only page. Swipe up.
You'll get to see Eric in his son's underwear. Episode 1.
The aftermath.
We'll holler at y'all.
Yeah.
Peace.
Later.